You ever come home after a long weekend, tired, muddy, just dreaming about your own couch and a hot shower, only to find a U-Haul in your driveway, boxes everywhere, and some total stranger barefoot in just socks hauling your grandmother's couch straight through the front door like it's a moving day parade for people you've never met? Yeah, that happened. And it gets worse. The first thing I see is this woman with a clipboard and a Willow Crest HOA president sash standing on my lawn waving like she's running the Philharmonic. Her smile so wide it actually made my jaw hurt just looking at her. "Welcome home. Please don't block the unloading zone," she sings out, and I swear if sweetness could kill, I'd be 6 feet under right now. For a second, I just sat there gripping the steering wheel, brain completely short-circuiting because the U-Haul is real. The boxes labeled Aunt Rhonda's Wedgwood are real. And so is the stranger dragging my family's furniture through my door like he owns the place. So I did the only thing that made sense. I threw my car in park, grabbed my phone, and hit 911 before my common sense could talk me out of it. You should have seen the president's face when she realized what I was doing. Her grin curdled faster than bad milk. "I'm Evan Ridley. Yeah, the bird feeder guy on Blue Quail Court in Willow Crest. That quiet planned community outside Northbrook where every mailbox matches and rumors breed faster than rabbits in spring. I'm not exactly the neighborhood watchdog. You know, I work from home, mind my own business, keep the grass tidy-ish, pay my dues on time. I don't complain about other people's wind chimes or dogs or wildflowers. I've been here 6 years, and the only real drama was the time my grill smoked out the HOA potluck. But Rhonda Pennington, our queen bee president, she'd been on me for ages. She called it non-compliant grass enthusiasm. Translation: I let clover grow instead of buying her blessed chemically engineered grass seed that guzzles water like a frat boy at a kegger. She hated my introvert lighting too, meaning I don't like my porch lit up like a prison yard. She'd send newsletters every week with subject lines like "important compliance reminder" or "action required immediately," and always managed to call me everything but my actual name. I've been Eric Edwin and once Everett. Honestly, I figured as long as I paid my dues and waved politely, I was safe. Then 2 weeks before the U-Haul mess, Rhonda cranked the crazy to 11. She slapped a vacant property notice on my door while I was home making soup. Full-on official-looking letter with stamps and signatures taped right over my doorbell. I caught her through the window, ladle in hand, just staring her down. She pretended she didn't see me and scurried off, shoes clicking like a scared squirrel. After that, I'd catch her and some guy named Doug wearing a safety vest for, I don't know, dramatic effect, walking around my place with a tape measure. They measured my mailbox, the fence line, even the distance from my driveway to the curb. I half expected them to whip out a Geiger counter and start checking my flower beds for radiation. Then came her masterpiece, an email blast titled "Derelict Lot Action Plan" with an illegally snapped photo of my living room taken right through my blinds. She wrote that my home showed signs of abandonment and neglect, even though my cat, Mr. Whiskers, was visible in the picture alive and judging her. She claimed the photo was for community safety assessment. Right. If nosy counts as safety, this woman's a hero. Now here's where it really goes off the rails. I left for a weekend backpacking trip Friday to Sunday. Come back Monday, there's the U-Haul, there's Rhonda, and there's a college kid named Trent calling me landlord with honest confusion while Rhonda announces all proud that her guest, a displaced member of the community, would be living in my spare room per HOA emergency occupancy policy. Never heard of it, that's because it doesn't exist. So picture this. I'm still in my muddy hiking boots, backpack half sliding off my shoulder, watching this woman orchestrate a heist with party planner energy. But I've got the receipts, ring cam, full play-by-play. Saturday morning, 9:43 a.m., Rhonda shows up with a locksmith. She tells him with hand gestures and everything it's an HOA wellness check. He asks if she's got authorization. She flashes a folder later, turned out to be full of blank paper and old meeting minutes. They pop my lock walk right in, and she leaves an official guardianship notice on my table like she's repossessing my vibes and my couch. She even did a walk through closet's pantry medicine cabinet, snapping photos of everything. Then she texts Trent, Elise, just a Word doc in Times New Roman spelling my name. Even Ridley Wren at $0 pending board approval in a footer. I kid you not. Copyright 2023 Rhonda Pennington Enterprises. She even giggles about what curtain she's going to hang in my living room. Caught it all on camera. The locksmith, Gary, looks like he's wishing he picked a different line of work. When the first cop rolls up, Rhonda plants herself in my yard with enough laminated bylaws to choke a horse declaring abandonment and humanitarian occupancy. The officer's blinking like he's trying to reboot his brain. I play the ring footage, Rhonda bossing around the locksmith, measuring for curtains, telling Trent, if Evan comes back early, we'll just call it house sitting. You can practically see the gears grinding in that officer's head. Within minutes, the scene explodes. More squad cars, a city code officer, a detective, neighbors gathering on lawns with phones out. Here's the thing, HOA can't perform wellness checks by breaking into homes unless there's actual emergency or proof of abandonment. Otherwise, that's called burglary with branding detectives' words, not mine. Gary the locksmith goes full confession mode, shows the officers Rhonda's work order saying my house had been abandoned 6 months. I'd been gone 2 days. The so-called lease had my name misspelled, listed my property as a rental when county records showed it as owner-occupied. Trent, poor kid, realizes he's been scammed. Tells the officers Rhonda said I'd moved out of state and the HOA was helping him find affordable housing. She'd even faked emails from me. Cops escort him out and he leaves with his box of phone chargers still in socks, apologizing the whole way. I almost felt bad for him. When they asked Rhonda for ID, she produced 3 different lanyards and a business card reading President Interim, Vice President Morale Committee. The detective, dry as toast, asks, who authorized entry? Rhonda waves the bylaws at absolutely nothing. Detective says she's being detained for unlawful entry, criminal trespass, and attempted fraud. Her face went from queen bee to deer in headlights in about 3 seconds. Now, if you think that's the end, nope. Act 2, just getting started. 2 days later, emergency HOA meeting in the clubhouse. Half the neighborhood shows up, some with popcorn like it's movie night. The board projects the ring footage, Rhonda telling the locksmith, we're basically the government here. Then there she is, fluffing my throw pillows like she's staging the house for a magazine shoot. Gasps and nervous laughter everywhere. Somebody yells, check the sash for diplomatic immunity, board members trying not to crack up. But here comes the twist. Phil the treasurer, quiet guy, 15 years on the board, clears his throat and drops the bomb. He's got receipts and bank statements up on the big screen. Rhonda used HOA funds for the locksmith, $350, the U-Haul, $190, and even a custom welcome mat that read, the Penningtons temporary for $89. Cleaning supplies, bulbs, curtain rods, all charged to the HOA. Misappropriation of funds, $742. The board votes to boot her 12-0 with Rhonda abstaining while screaming about conspiracies. Police officers waiting outside walk in and serve her on the spot. Criminal trespass, unlawful entry, attempted fraud, misuse of HOA funds. She tries to rally. I was preserving property values, and the detective shoots back by moving into other people's property. Even the board cracks up. Rhonda grabs her bylaws and sash, storming out like a dethroned monarch. Final act, and it's a doozy. A month later, court is packed. Word gets around, people want to see if justice is real. Rhonda shows up in a pantsuit with her lawyer who looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. The judge, no nonsense, listens to the whole story, watches the ring footage. Rhonda tries to speak. Judge freezes her with one look. Bang, the gavel comes down. Protective order, she's banned from my property by 300 feet, has to pay for everything, locksmith door damage, my legal fees, and all the stolen HOA money, over $8,000. 2 years banned from serving on any HOA board in the county. 100 hours of community service organizing the same storage unit she once called the war room. Judge says gross abuse of authority and a violation of basic property rights. Rhonda goes white as a sheet. Her lawyer leans in, whispers, and she just nods deflated. Walking out, she gives me this look somewhere between disbelief and pure rage, and I just waved at her the same little wave I gave her with a soup ladle weeks earlier. So what do you think, was justice served, or do you think the punishment should have been even harsher? Ever had an HOA president try to steal your house out from under you? Drop your stories and opinions down in the comments. Let's see where you land on this one. And hey, if you ever feel like you're the only sane person on your street, just remember you are definitely not alone. Hit like, share your HOA nightmares, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next round, because in Willow Crest, it's never just about the grass.